All right, so let's do a trade day recap for Thursday, November 13th here on NASDAQ. So let me just pull up my list of journal questions and let's run through them. So what happened today? Ultimately, I didn't take any trades, as you can see by the, P&L over there. Nothing. Didn't take anything. Next question is, did the market follow my expectations today? Yes and no. This morning, what we had going on is pre-market made a lot of the moves. So here's the London session, and here's pre-market. Blue line's 930. And what we see is a whole bunch of distribution pre-930. And it was kind of smashing into sell-side targets ahead of 930, which is, my bias was bearish for the first part of the session. I wanted to see price come down, and I wanted to see it tap into some of these targets that I had. Many are removed from the charts. Some of them are down in here. But ultimately, I wanted to see it bottom right down here at this red line. And I wanted to see a reversal at this red line somewhere in this zone. Now, what ended up happening is price came down a little bit ahead of that and reversed. So I got the overall narrative right. I wanted to see price retrace into discount and then expand up into premium. I got it a little bit wrong in that I was expecting a little deeper of a dig before at least I was willing to go in on a trade. So I saw this long forming. I didn't take it. I didn't like how there was a small IFVG, and I wanted lower. And also, after such a big drop, I was expecting consolidation more than I was expansion. And this was probably the play of the day, in my opinion. Nice risk to reward, lots of targets up high. And then I saw a continuation long trade, but which at this point, I was a little more convinced that I could go bullish at this point, that maybe it wasn't going to come down to my drawn liquidity down here before expanding further. So I was looking at taking this long here, and as soon as it confirmed above this candle, I was setting up the trade, and price ran without me. So couldn't do anything about that. And then once I saw price didn't take this high, started coming down here and building all this trend line liquidity, it started coming down into the original levels that I was interested in. And what we ended up having happening is down in here, here was an IFVG. And I saw this trade set up. I was interested in taking it, but there was no SMT. So I ended up, and also no retrace back down to the IFVG. It created this change in state of delivery here. I didn't get a chance to enter and didn't retrace back to the IFVG. So ultimately wouldn't have been a huge trade, but still, this is kind of the trade that I was looking for. And then from there, the orange line here is where I decided to call it quits for the day. So that was basically how I saw it. Now, in the end, where I was wrong on the market direction, I was expecting for it to expand bullishly out of here. And as we can see over the course of the lunch hour, it's just kind of grinding down further. So that was the play-by-play analysis. Here was the play of the day, in my opinion. Next question is, did a profitable trader show up? And what I mean by this is, when I came into the charts this morning, did I have the identity, the mindset, the attitude, the behavior, the characteristics embodied of a profitable trader, right? Was I willing to go in today and not take a trade if nothing looked good? And the answer to that is yes, a profitable trader did show up. Next is, how did that affect how I saw the markets? Well, it gave me patience because I wasn't just FOMOing into trades. I wanted to see certain things and I didn't see those certain things, so I didn't take the trades, which is discipline. So then the next question becomes, was today a winning day? Well, yes, it was, because I followed my rules, probably 100%. I followed my standard operating procedure. However, I didn't execute a trade, but nothing met my criteria, so that was 100%. And where was my emotions and psychology today? Probably at about 100%. So despite not having a green day, I give myself an A plus, maybe an A today. I do feel I could have been maybe a little too conservative with this trade down here. I know my mentor took something right down in here, one of my mentors, and got a piece of it, and I didn't get a piece of it. So there's that part of it too. Was today a profitable day? No, it was a flat day, so that's fine. Next question is, what notable emotions did I feel? Probably the big thing for me is I'm starting to feel a little impatient. It's been a very slow week for me. I've taken no trades this week. I had 2 or 3 break-even trades last week. So I'm feeling a little impatient to actually get some action. And I may mitigate that by doing some backtesting. Next question is, what went well today? So in reflecting on today, I think that the patience and the discipline was top notch. I think that's one of the things that I did best today. It was a little hard to tell where price was going to reverse. There was all these different levels down through here. And I made the decision I wanted to see it come down into this zone. And if it didn't come down into this zone, I wasn't going to take the trade. So I felt pretty disciplined about that. I feel pretty good about sticking to my plan. Next is, what would I like to improve from today? So the pattern I'm noticing is these smaller IFVGs tend to be playing out. And I typically like to see a little bit bigger of a gap than this. But nonetheless, lately they've been playing out. So I feel like maybe there's the room for me to be a little bit more aggressive. And I think that would probably be the biggest improvement from today. So lastly, any final comments on today's trading session? No, I think this is part of trading. Like, some days you don't get trades for many people. Some traders are, these high frequency scalpers or, super short-term scalpers, and they can get in 5 trades a day. For me, 1 or 2 is maybe what I shoot for to get. And in the case of today, it's just one of those days where nothing appeared to look right at the right time, at the right place for me, so I didn't execute. And that meant I followed my rules and I missed a trade. That's fine. I still preserved capital. So I think that that's a win for today. And that's probably my last thought on today's trading session. So I guess that concludes the journal entry here for November 13th.